Hello, everyone. Welcome to High Level Gaming. I'm your host, Brian Giordano, and today we are going to play Lord of the Rings, the card game, the revised core edition. And I am playing just the very first scenario, Passage Through Mirkwood. And I am playing with the heroes, Aragorn, Theodred, and Eowyn. So, before I begin, I just wanted to give a little backstory about this game. This game happens to be my favorite game of all time. If I could play no other game and have only one game, this would be it. And the funny part about that is I bought this game when it was released in 2001 at a gaming convention with my family. And my youngest son and I played for the very first time Middle-earth strategy battle game. It was called Lord of the Rings strategy battle game then. And it was a blast. We played against a Castle Assault on Minas Tirith. It was incredible. But nonetheless, we also picked up Lord of the Rings, the card game, the original version. And in the original rule book, we had never played a Fantasy Flight card game. I don't think. I think this was our first one. Maybe we had played. No, no, this was our first one. So I didn't really understand the mechanics of how the heroes worked and resources and all that. And the rule book said that you can play 1 to 3 heroes as your startup. So we thought to ourselves, well, this, wouldn't we want this? Maybe this is an individual like narrative, like an individual hero game. But real in reality, it was you want to really play this with no less than 3 heroes, but the rules didn't say that. So we both played it, I think 2 times with one hero. Why we didn't just increase it to 3, I don't know. I think we felt like we were cheating the game somehow if we were making it too easy for ourselves. So we were playing with one hero, got absolutely crushed, of course, as you would, as with any player would get crushed with a single hero, most likely. In fact, maybe that'd be a good challenge for down the road, trying to actually defeat a scenario with a single hero. I'm really glad I just thought of that because I may try to do it. I don't think I would try to do a quest more difficult than Passage Through Mirkwood, however, but it would be worth an attempt to see if it can be done. I've never tried. But so anyway, we were pretty frustrated with our experience, to say the least, and we shelved this game for over a year. I want to say we'd had other games we got at the convention, and I was playing, Flames of War at the time. Anyway, I was just playing that all the time. We got into Lord of the Rings strategy battle game right after that we played our first time playing the game. So that took off. So we kind of we shelved it for a year. We came back to it. And lo and behold, we tried 3 heroes each, and it was a completely different experience. And just off it went. We just continued to play the game as content was coming out. We were doing they basically had like a subscription. We weren't really doing a subscription, but every month, basically a new expansion pack would come out and we'd buy it, we'd play the scenario, and we were just staying on top of it. And we did that for pretty much all the way until it started to get toward the sands of Herod, and then I kind of left up on it. And I continued to buy stuff. Like I have almost a complete collection, but I left up on it. So that's the story of Lord of the Rings, the card game, but it is my absolute favorite game. And I've been playing it a little bit more recently than I had been in the past. And I just, it's just when you come back to a game that you already knew you felt strongly about, and it just puts you right back in that place that you were when you left off, like a good friend you haven't seen in a while. That's how I could classify this. So that is Lord of the Rings, the card game to me. And so we're gonna play. And oh, by the way, I want to pay tribute. So this was supposed to be my very first playthrough, but it ended up being like my fifth because when I recorded it, unfortunately, I had some sound issues. It was just not a good video. And then I was editing videos after that, and then I ended up so I'm publishing this like out of order as far as date, but this really was the first video I wanted to make and did create. But I want to give tribute to my son Jason. We sat and played this game so much and had so many great memories playing this game. And I want to just dedicate my very first playthrough or my very first video for the show as intended to my son Jason. So if you're out there, buddy, watching, you know how much we love. And by the way, look at these new tokens. They have 5s and 3s on them now, so we don't have to. What we used to do? We used to like glue some of these together in stacks of 5, because there'd be quests. There'd be quests that would require like 20 plus progress tokens. Okay, so yes. So, someone would have like 25, 20 plus progress tokens on them, and it just got ridiculous counting the individual singles. They used to be all singles. You didn't have like threes or fives in the original core set. So, yeah, look at how much easier it is now. But too bad we didn't have that a long time ago. Oh, by the way, I use a separate threat track up here because maybe not in this quest, but some quests, I end up with so many quests, different characters and stat increases and all that, that I just use one of these to calculate it for me. And I compare that to whatever is in the staging area. So that's why this is up here. And then I'm going to just read. I'm going to probably put a photo illustration of this card, but right now I'm just going to narrate. So this is the first stage of this quest. It's called 1A, Flies and Spiders, Passage Through Mirkwood. You are traveling through Mirkwood Forest, carrying an urgent message from King Thranduil to Lady Galadriel of Golorion. As you move along the dark trail, the spiders gather around you. Setup. Search the encounter deck for one copy of Forest Spider, right here, and one copy of the Old Forest Road, right here. And add them to the staging area. Then shuffle the encounter deck. All right, so I've done all that. But I just did want to read it for you guys, and then I'll read this. Oh, I want to tell you, everything's shuffled. What did I want to say here? Hang on. Oh, okay. I just want to let everyone know I'm using a deck from the core set. I'm not using any advanced cards. Everything here you see is from the revised core set. So I'm going to show you, and I think they already kind of put this together as a prearranged deck. I did not go with the prearranged deck in the back, but I'm pretty sure I used probably almost the same cards because I've been playing a long time, and I kind of know what the best cards in the core set are. So I have no doubt I'll be able to probably do this quest because I have a lot of experience with it, and these are really good combinations. And I'm going to show you kind of how to use them to the best of their ability, as best as I can. I'm not an expert, but I have completed every quest I've set out to, except the Saga Mount Doom. I went completely one-handed solo, and I have to admit the deck that I brought to the table at the end, as good as it was, I could not defeat Mount Doom, and I tried, and I got to the point where I literally did give up. And I thought to myself, if I had a second deck, I'm positive I could do it, but I didn't run it through the campaign, and I just didn't want to create one out of the thin air that just magically showed up. I guess I could create a narrative for that, but I did not. And I was pretty frustrated by that because, man, it was long, and it's hard work to get through these Lord of the Rings living card game quests. They are a challenge indeed. All right, so let me read now Stage 1B. Okay. It says the nastiest things we saw were the cobwebs, dark, dense cobwebs with threads extraordinarily thick, often stretched from tree to tree or tangled in the lower branches on either side of them. There were none stretched across the path, but whether because some magic kept it clear or for whatever reason they could not guess. That's from The Hobbit. Pretty great writing, as always, from Sir Tolkien. And what it says here is we have to make 8 questing progress to advance this first stage. So, we have to get through this. Let's do it. So let's talk about the first thing we have to do before the game. I'm going to draw a hand of 6 cards. I'm going to look at those cards and see if I'd like to keep them or mulligan my hand. All right, so I have a Steward of Gondor, which is going to provide resource help. Can cancel and revealed effects. So far, so good. This will return a spirit card like this to my hand. Snowborn Scout, looking good to me. I'd like a little bit better ally, but I am going to accept this hand. I think it's okay, especially getting that Steward of Gondor out. I like that. So, with that said, I have my starting 6 cards. We go ahead and we start the game, and I'm going to go use the rules reference. We're going to do this by the numbers because I want any new players to this beloved game of mine to know how to play after watching this. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to play. It's not a learn to play video, but just learn how to play from how the stages go. So the very first thing is called the resource phase. And the resource phase, players gain resources, we draw cards. So you gain 1 resource per hero. So what I do there's different ways. Some people like to put dice with the values on there for resources, which is a great idea. But I'm going to use everything from the core set, except I don't exhaust by turning my cards because I think it's a lot of fiddliness. So I actually just use these, and it's been a lot better than moving cards around constantly. I'll use these glass gems to exhaust any cards, including characters that I have. So resources, I draw a single card. So my starting hand of 7. Okay, choose and ready an ally. Ever vigilant. Okay, so that's that. So let's go talk about. We have a forest spider in the staging area. It's got 2 threat on top of the 1 threat for a total of 3 from the Old Forest Road. Let's see. Response. After you travel to Old Forest Road, the first player may choose and ready 1 character they control. All right, fantastic. So this is. I'm just going to tell you what I like to do. I'm going to quest Eowyn, of course. She's going to quest for 4. So, oh, by the way, I'm sorry. This is the planning phase. So we did the resource phase. That is complete. This is the planning phase. The planning phase, you can do. There's a special action window here, and then basically we determine we put all of our we buy all our cards. So the planning phase is what comes next. That's when we take a look at our cards, and then we are able to spend resources based on the here we go sphere of influence. Okay, the sphere of influence. So you have to play cards, you have to play resources from heroes that match the sphere of influence. So for this is leadership, this is spirit. So I see I have all leadership and spirit cards in my hand. Well, that's so that I can properly spend. I would not be able to put them in play if I didn't have heroes of the same sphere of influence. So that's how that works. So let's talk about. So now we're in the planning phase. Let's look and see what kind of cards we want to put in play. Well, I'm absolutely going to put Steward of Gondor in play immediately. I'm going to give it to Aragorn. I'm going to pay 2 resources for that. It says attached to a hero, the hero gains the Gondor trait. So now he's Gondorian. He should have already had it, but that's one of the reasons for this card. Exhaust Steward of Gondor to add 2 resources to the attached hero's resource pool. I'm going to do that right now. So we're basically going to put those resources right back on Aragorn, and he has 2 resources. Let's see if I'd like to play anything else. I can play the Snowborn Scout. That is not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea. In fact, I'm going to play it so that way I can show you guys how this works. So I'm going to spend 1 resource from Aragorn's pool, matching the sphere of influence here, and put him into play. It says response after Snowborn Scout enters play, choose a location. There's only 1 location right now in the staging area. It could be anywhere. It could also be the active location, which if we have one, I'll put right here. Place 1 progress token on that location. So that is what we are going to do. So already we have partially explored. We sent our Snowborn Scout, sent him out, said, hey, can you go do some preliminary scouting on the Old Forest Road? And he went off and did that. All right, so that's gonna be it. So we're now done with the planning phase. I've played all the cards I'd like to play. So we're going to go into the questing phase. So there's an action window, then you commit characters. So we're going to commit the characters right now. So I'm going to commit Eowyn, and that gives me 4. I'm just going to start adding my progress right now. So we need 8 to go on to the next step. So this is one thing I like. So it says response. After Theodra commits to a quest, or choose a hero committed to that quest, add 1 resource to that hero's resource pool. I'm going to choose, because she's already committed, I can't do Aragorn yet because he's not committed. So I can do Eowyn because she has committed to the quest. I'm going to add 1 resource to her resource pool and commit to the quest. And that's going to quest for 5. And let's see. All right. Typically, what I like to do is do this back and forth combo between Theodred and Aragorn. But since Aragorn has this Steward of Gondor attachment, he's going to have plenty of resources. But let me show you what I like to do normally. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to exhaust Aragorn for his 2. Just going to add total 7 questing so far. And it says response. After Aragorn commits to a quest, spend one resource from his resource pool to ready him. So he is now ready. All right. So, and since you can only, basically commit to a quest once, you're only going to do this one time. All right. So we're questing for 7. We have a total threat of 3. So I'm going to put this up here, and we are going to uh, do the. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yes. No. This is it. Quest resolution. So committing characters, we've done that. The next part is staging. So what we do is we stage one card face down per person. So right now this card is for me, so I'm going to encounter it. Let's see. It is another forest spider. So that is going to be interesting because we're going to have to take on 2 of these spiders now. And I was not prepared for that, but we hopefully will have some ways to deal with this. One here. Okay, no, we don't want that. Oh, okay. So we have 5 threat in the staging area, requesting for 7. That is going to give us 2 progress towards the main quest. And now we're going to have to go into the travel phase. So the travel phase begins. We are going to take an opportunity to travel right now, and we're going to do that. We're going to, after you travel to the Old Forest Road, the first player may choose and ready one character they control. And I believe I want that character to be Theodred. Yes. All right. Now what we're left with going into the encounter phase. Travel phase is done. There's an action window. I don't have anything else I'd like to do, so we're going to go into the encounter phase. The encounter phase, there's optional engagement, which means we can optionally engage one of the characters up here, or excuse me, one of the enemies up here. And because our threat is actually higher than the engagement value, we're going to get both of these suckers. They're going to come down anyway. There's not much I can do about it. And next thing that happens is the encounter. You have an action window, of course, and then the phase ends. We go into the combat phase. So the first thing we do is we deal shadow cards. These both have the same threat value, so it doesn't matter which order they're dealt. And then I have to start assigning defenders. Now, the question is, do I want to get some damage on them and sacrifice my scout right after he's returned from that wonderful location scouting at the Old Forest Road he did for us? Or do we want to properly defend, keep him alive, and then in game for following round? And what I think I'm going to do is sacrifice him. Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to take some damage on Theodred, unfortunately, but I want the benefit of attacking with 3 instead of attacking with 2. All right, so the first defense, Snowboard Scout against this attack. It's attack of 2 plus any shadow. There's no shadow. So it's a 2 on a 1. He will die. He gets discarded. And then we're going to defend with Theodred. And it's a 2 on Theodred's 1 defense. Let's see if there's any shadow effect. There is not. That's excellent. And so he will take 1 damage because his defense is only 1. And then finally, I'm going to I'm going to attack with Aragorn. He's dealing 3 damage, and it doesn't matter which one. We'll put 2 damage on one of the 2 forest spiders. All right. And that is going to end the combat phase. Then we're going to do a refresh phase where we ready all cards. And so this is all I have to do instead of monkeying around with a bunch of turning cards around. That's all done. Raise threat. I would, if there was 2 players or more, pass the first player token, but since it's the same player, I mean, I guess I could give myself the first player token because I'm the only player. So, and then there's an action window, and then the phase ends, and we go right back down to the beginning of the resource phase of a new round, and so I gain resources. 1, 2, and 3, and I draw a card. Oh, this is fantastic. Unexpected courage. Now I am very glad I gave Alan extra resources. All right, so It's planning phase now. There's an action window. I could do things like this action here. I could do the Steward of Gondor right now, which why not? Let's just do it now because I can do it in any action window. So now Aragorn has 3 resources. And then we're going to go into the planning phase where I can play cards. Well, Unexpected Courage came into my hand. This is a crutch card from the core set. And what I mean by that is this is one of those cards where I have pretty much maintained play with this card throughout even my where I'm currently at, which is I'm still in the Sands of Harad, whatever that was called, that cycle. That's where I'm at. I don't have the final pack of the Crossing at Poros, so I can't finish it out. So I'm gonna have to probably try to do that digitally online somehow. I believe there's a couple places you can play Lord of the Rings living card game. Actually, if you're interested, I'll put that in the description below so you can go check that out yourself if you'd like to play this game and not have to worry about going out and getting physical product. Um, so, anyway, the Unexpected Courage allows a hero, it's an action, you exhaust this card to ready the attached hero. And that is super powerful because that gives some of your greatest characters on you have or heroes the chance to go multiple times, take multiple turns during a round. And I'm going to put that on Aragorn for 2. Okay. Can I play anything else that's useful? Well, I definitely have to start dealing with this. I can't be monkeying around anymore. So, worrying about exploring and questing right now, I got to get at least one of these guys out of my face this round. So, yeah, not having allies is not great right now. All right, but there's not much I can do. So, all right, I think I'm gonna have to. Gosh, I'm not so sure. I mean, there's nothing in the staging area, so I really don't have to. I think I'm going to play it safe. I'm not going to quest. I'm going to take my chances with the threat in the staging area, um, and we're just going to proceed. I'm not going to commit. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the resource from Theodred, but until I get another Unexpected Courage, I'm not going to do it. Plus, there's nobody else committed anyway, so nobody would get it. All right, that's it. I'm just going to go as is. No questing. All right. It is a King Spider at 20, and see, believe it or not, this is going to be absolutely horrible for us. Well, you definitely know I shuffled because I would. There's no way this is a good way to start out this quest. Probably the worst ever for me. But hey, at least we can take this stuff on and not die. That's all I can say right now. So we're going to take 2 threat, and we are going to go to the travel phase in which there's no travel. And we are going to have to go to the encounter phase, and he is going to come down to us. So, combat. Deal shadow cards, and man, this is not going to be fun. All right, so, but I gotta start chopping these guys away. So let's play this smart. I'm gonna defend here an Aelin. There is shadow. Look at that. Attacking enemy gets +1. Okay. So it's going to be 3 to my 1. She's 1 away from dying. Okay, so no more. Hopefully we got to get rid of these enemies. All right, now I'm going to do a defense here. It is defending player must choose and discard 1 attachment they control. Oh, hold on a second. I know I can't do anything about that, I don't believe. No, I don't have anything for shadow. Well, if I'm going to do that, I'm definitely doing the Steward of Gondor. Uh, that's unfortunate, but goodbye. And then I'm going to I'm going to exhaust Unexpected Courage to defend this final attack. And hold on, did I do the proper? Nope, I got to do 1 damage to him as well. Because he did suffer. It's 2 attack against the 1 defense. So he's got 2 damage, 2 damage. And then finally over here, Aragorn is defending for 2. and it is going to be 1 damage on him because the King Spider attacks for 3. So we're all beat up over here for sure, but at least Aragorn is going to get that extra action and be able to take care of this Forest Spider and get him out of here, and hopefully we'll have an ally come out of our deck shortly here. All right, so end of combat, refresh phase, we ready all cards. Raise threat by 1. There we go. Pass the first player, which we're not going to do, and we resume. Okay, so a new round. This is round 3. Gain resources. 2, 3. Draw a card. We did not get what we needed. I gotta be honest, folks, I am starting to become a little concerned. Hmm. Well, at least we can cancel when revealed effects. That's nice, but we don't have anything about combat. And, man. All right, let's see. We don't have a whole. What can we do? We're gonna have to quest with Eowyn because she can't defend again, and she can't attack with to any kind of effect that is useful. So we'll quest for 4 with Eowyn. We have no cards to play, so it's basically just going right to questing. At least there's nothing in the no threat in the staging area, but we got plenty of enemies to deal with, and I'm going to have to make Aragorn defend. We may just have to. Could we do here? Theodred's going to have to at least start putting damage down. If he could at least hit the King Spider once, maybe we can properly deal with him next round. Yes, that's what we're going to try. So requesting a 4. Let's go ahead and do the quest resolution. So let's stage. Ah, all right. It's the Chieftain Uthak, and he is a threat of 35, so we're not going to have to deal with him, but he's a 2 threat. So we're going to be able to put 2 progress on the current location. So that is going to clear the Old Forest Road, and we will discard that. And we still have 6 remaining threat to deal, or 6 remaining progress to place here. All right, so questing is done. Travel, there's no place to travel to. And we're not going to optionally encounter Chieftain Uthak. No way. And so we've already encountered these guys. They're going to get threat. We're going to go into the combat phase, and we have to hope we survive. So first things first, we're going to be defending here against the Forest Spider. Attack of 2, defense of 2. Attacking enemy gets +1. So that is going to put 1 damage on Aragorn. Over here, we have 3 against 2 defense. Hopefully, deal 1 damage to each character the defending player controls. That's it. That's it. That's going to kill Eowyn. And I had nothing to deal with it. Okay, so I've decided to show you, especially new players, this is absolutely beatable. We're going to I reset everything. We're going to do this again. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Since I know I can't mulligan again. Oh, fair. Now, watch me get a bunch of allies and I can't even play. Yep, 100%. I can't believe we just got Ungoliant spawn. This has been the worst night ever. I don't even know if I'm going to publish this video. Okay. Starting hand, 6 cards. Let's see what we got. All right, so we are back again. And we're going to give this another go. I have freshly shuffled, and I mean, I went through and I partitioned my deck appropriately. Shuffle, reshuffled. Hopefully we get a good result here. Starting another new game. Okay, sneak attack, snowboard scouts, cancel shadow effect. All right, I have to take this one. Yep, gotta take it. All right, so resources. Let's give this one a go. I don't have any good attachments, unfortunately. I got a lot of events, but I do have two allies that are useful, Snowboard Scout and Gandalf, and I have Sneak Attack, which is good. It gives me a lot of flexibility. So, get down. Let's see. First thing we are going to do. Sneak Attack's only good for a phase, so I don't want to do that anytime soon here. I'm going to save Snowborn Scout for a trickier location. So let's see, questing. Let's commit to questing here. Definitely Eowyn, and I'm going to say Theodred. Um, adding one to committed character, which is Eowyn. That's 5 questing, and that's about as best as I can do without committing Aragorn, which Aragorn would be good because we can ready hit, but then we can't get any attack damage. We know we're going to engage a forest spider. So let's go ahead and stage. Dumbledore Beastmaster. Okay, when he attacks, he's got a force ability. We're not going to worry about that yet. All right, no quest success. We're going to travel to the Old Forest Road, and that is going to ready Theodred. We're going to engage the forest spider, deal him a shadow card, prepare defense. No shadow effect, and that good is because I don't have treachery defense, so it's excellent that that's gone. And we will take 1 damage. Aragorn will swing for 3 against a defensive 1 for 2. That'll be the end of the round. I could bring Gandalf in, actually. You know, could bring Gandalf in and just take care of this guy. Because I have 2 sneak attack. Absolutely, we're going to do that. So sneak attack 1. Bring Gandalf in. It's going to lower my threat by 4, 5. And go down to 24. And we're going to attack with Gandalf, killing this off. Very good. Sneak attack gets discarded, but Gandalf at the end of the round will go back into my hand at the end of this phase, actually. So he will go back to my hand now. Now, at the end of the round, we refresh, add threat. We would pass the first player token. We don't need to. All right. We do have 2 threat in here still, and we're not going to be able to deal with this for a bit until we build out some more allies. Or we bring Gandalf in again, quite frankly. Okay, so new round. Let's get our resources. Anyone is looking good with 3. We'll draw a card. Choose already an ally. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to do well this time around. It's going to be a whole different story. So, committing to quest. Questing. Giving that resource to Eowyn. Again for 5. Let's stage. Forest spider. So another forest spider. That's okay. That is all right. Oh, I see. I missed after the spider. After the forest spider engages a player, it gets +1 to the till the end of the round, and I forgot to. So he will actually get 2. We're gonna get that again. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So what we're gonna do is it's a 5 to a 4. We're gonna get 1 quest progress on an active location, and then we're gonna go into the engagement step. So he's a +1. Yeah, he's a +1 for this round. Steal him a shadow card. I'm going to defend with Aragorn, so he's a 3 to the 2, which would give me 1 damage. And bring Aragorn in again, or Gandalf in again. Gandalf would kill him outright, but then he'd be a waste. So I'm going to wait One more round. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so refresh, not going to attack. Add threat. And we're going to get our resources from falling around. Okay, so I'm going to do this. She's now got 5. Here's 2. Draw a card. It's not a card I like. I think the next Gandalf I bring it. That's a test of will. I do like that. I would like an attachment, but all right. So Gandalf, I'm sitting pretty good at threat. I may decide to draw 3 cards for the next Gandalf appearance. We'll see. Matter of fact, I could bring him in for the whole game. No, I want to sneak attack him one more time. Yeah, I want to sneak attack him and then play him. All right, we're sitting in pretty good shape. I'm going to do this just to get that resource. And then questing for 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and stage. Enchanted Stream. So that's 5. All right, so I'm going to put one quest progress in the active location. While Enchanted Stream is the active location, players cannot draw cards. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad we have a Snowborn Scout in our hand. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to play Sneak Attack for 1, bring in the Snowborn Scout, getting rid of this, and then we will travel here to get that out of the staging area. Snowborn Scout will come back in hand, and we'll just play Gandalf outright next go about, okay? So what we're going to do now is we'll defend with Aragorn. No shadow, no damage. Refresh. Add threat, and off to a new round. Now we can draw cards. All right, Celebrian Stone, fantastic. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put Gandalf in play, drawing 3 cards. You want to do that? I just want to kill this forest spider. I think I'm going to kill the forest spider. Yes. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. If he comes into play, kills the forest spider outright. He costs 5 to do that. I'm going to play Celebrian Stone on Aragorn for 2. He now has +2. I'll actually use Theodred's resources because he can use it for spirit now. He could use it for spirit or leadership. And then I'm good with that. We still have a good amount of resources left. We'll keep the Stillborn Scout for another messy staging area situation. And we're going to press on. Let's see. We're going to quest we're going to quest out. Yes, we're going to quest out here. Put that on Aragorn since he can spend it on multiple things. And that is going to give us 7-11 questing. All right, let's reveal for the staging area. And it is when revealed, the player with the highest threat level attaches. Okay, I would have to do this, but I'm not. I'm going to use a test of will to cancel that, and we're just not going to deal with it because, let's face it, I want to get through this and complete this quest for you guys. So that's that. And it's 11 on a 2, which gives us 9. That is fantastic. So 2 will go here. And 7, 8 needed will go here. All right. You guys see that? No, you cannot see that. I'll put it down here. There we go. 7 out of 8. So we've explored this location. I could optionally engage here, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. No. So we are going to refresh, add threat. Handoff will go away to the discard pile. We're going to start a fresh new round. We're not looking too bad. Let's get some resources going here. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I take that back. I made one vital error. I did have the extra 2 because I had 13. Gandalf, look at Gandalf 4, that's 8, 9, and then 4. So 13. So this is actually cleared. So let's go and push forward on this. So we are at stage 2B. Let's just move on. You guys, stage 2B says, unsure of what lies ahead. Wait, we gotta actually do A because I realize I'm gonna edit out all my losses. I'm not playing my full losses playthrough. Well, maybe I'll do one. Maybe I'll do one and then do additional losses, edit it. So I've read this. I don't know if I've read this. So let me read it. A fork in the road. 2A, stage 2A. As you move through Mirkwood, hounded by spiders, the forest path forks before you. Stage 2B. Unsure of what lies ahead, but spurred by the urgency of your message, you choose a path and proceed. Forced. When you defeat the stage, proceed to one of the 2 a chosen path stages at random, quote unquote. So that's a chosen path are these cards here. Okay. There's 2 of them. So we'll shuffle these when we get to them, and then we'll have to, basically it's a fork in the path. We have to choose left or right, which way we want to go, and we pick one of the stage 3 or scene 3. Um, Act 3. Act 3? Yeah. For Passage Through Mirkwood. Okay, so let's push forward. We did get past it. It's a new round. Now let me get my resources. Standoff was in the discard pile. I do draw a card. Oh, Longbeard Orc Slayer. What do you know? Good time for him to be around here. All right, so Stillborn Scout. I'm going to put him in play because why not? 4. After he enters play, deal 1 damage to an orc enemy in play. Why not? And let's see. We have no other cards I really want to play right now, so let's go ahead and quest. Just gonna do these 2, giving her the resource. So questing for 5. We're showing the cost. No, because we could get a treachery and it could be really bad. So we're gonna quest for 5. We're gonna go ahead and stage. Each enemy and location currently in the staging area gets +1 threat until the end of the phase. Thank goodness there's 1, otherwise this would surge. So it's going to be 3. So that actually gives us our 2. We got the 2 we needed to get past this. So now we are going to indeed have to pick one of these bad guys. Which path do we want to go on? Let's see. Left or right? Left or right? Let's go right. Let's flip it. Up. Let's flip it. Don't leave the path. Oh, geez. Let's see. The shadows grow darker and you realize that a foul presence is aiming to draw you from the path. You must defeat it to pass this way. When revealed, each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 spider card of their choice and add it to the staging area. Players must find and defeat Ungoliant Spawn to win this game. All right. I don't think I have any discard pile. So we're going to have to search the encounter deck for it. And look for Ungoliant Spawn and add it to the staging area. There she is. And then we're going to be on a travel step, actually. But we're not going to have any travel phase, I should say. We won't be traveling, so we'll go right to encounter. And I don't want to encounter the Ungoliant spawn just yet. We're going to leave it there. It kind of stinks, because it's now 5 threats showing in the staging area. But I don't need any more quest success progress here. I only need to defeat that. And so I'm going to have to, we need to get cards. Now I'm feeling a little bit sad that I didn't get the card draw from Gandalf and now that he's gone. But we'll figure something out here. We'll figure something out. So, with that said, we're not going to optionally engage. Aragorn goes largely wasted here, but I need to set myself up for one combat and one combat only. So we're going to go ahead and refresh, add threat, go to a new round, and hopefully, oh, I'm getting 3 there. Oh, actually, I'll make change. We'll get 4. And draw a card. A test of will. Okay, that is good because now I don't have to deal with any treachery, but it's not going to help us beat up on the Ungoliant spawn. And now I have to definitely deal with a threat in the staging area. So I may just have to quest above the threat for now. Questing for 8. Let's see. Unrevealed. Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. I could let that fly. I only care about quest completion, not about being perfect. So it's going to put 3 here. Not that we care. And I still don't want to deal with Ungoliant spawn. So another round we go. 2 more rounds and I will have to deal with him unless I'm able to do something about it. Please, Gandalf, another Gandalf. Snowborn Scout. My goodness. Well, my chump blocker friend, we're going to put 2 of you into play. Because why not at this point? There's no location to take advantage of you, but we got to get past this. Let's face it. We need to move on. So, let's quest for... Just questing with her this time. I'm going to take a little negative. Yeah, I'm going to take a little negative here. Because I want to engage in Ungoliant spawn this time around. Watch us get his forest spider too. Alright, so I can cancel Test of Will and any shadow cards. So as far as combat stuff, we staged. Alright, it is Forest Gate. Oh, I can draw 2 cards from this. Excellent. I'm gonna take 3 threat. Because I did not quest successfully, but we'll travel the Forest Gate and draw 2 cards. Hopefully that'll help Gandalf. Look at that. Valiant Sacrifice as well. So, I think this is going to work out. I do. And I'll show you why. So we traveled, we draw 2 cards. We're going to go to the optional engagement where we'll optionally engage. Well, we have to, actually. We have to engage. We're going to chump block over here. When revealed, we didn't reveal it. We added it, so we didn't have to do that effect on this card. All right, nothing. He will kill this guy, in which I'm going to trigger. Let's see. Valiant Sacrifice. After an ally card leaves play, that card's controller draws 2 cards. I'm going to pay 1, draw 2 more cards. Steward of Gondor. Not that I need that right now, but hey, why not? All right, now I can attack with what's remaining. That's going to be 2, 4, and 7. 7 damage, hitting him for a defensive 2. That's going to be remainder of 5. So he is getting close now to being defeated. So we'll refresh. Add threat. We're 1 away from having to deal with that Dolgledor Beastmaster, but I think we're going to be able to sidestep him. All right, resources. Another Longbeard Orc Slayer. So this is going to be a fun round. We're going to put a Gandalf in play too. Be honest with you, I could end the game by killing him by bringing Gandalf in play, simply by assigning that damage. But I'm just going to carry it out a little bit. Why not? So for 5, I'm going to put Gandalf in play, lowering our threat to 29, back to our starting value. And then I'm going to play another Longbeard Orc Slayer for 4. That'll put a damage on this Dolgledor Beastmaster. I will put Steward of Gondor on Aragorn and exhaust it to get the 2 resources. So I pay the 2, and then he'll get the 2. That's how that'll work. And we are ready to go. I can cancel any treachery. So I'm only going to commit her to the quest. Actually, no. I'll commit her and Theodra, giving her a resource for 5. Just to make sure I have enough. Because I think the most threat a card has in the deck is 3. Alright, nothing. Alright, so we'll get 3 progress here. There we go. And then I'm not going to optionally engage. We're going to do our final combat round here. And I'm going to have Gandalf defend this. Nothing. Oh, it's one of my cards. Oh, anyway. Here we go. I don't know how that happened. It's been frustrating to say the least. So Gandalf will take a damage. And as you can see, I will indeed have enough between the the Longbeard Orc Slayers. So they're going to give me 4 plus Aragorn's 7, which gives me a remaining 4 on the nose. Or actually, 7 is 5. So I take them out. I do 1 more damage than I need. 10 damage. He is defeated. And that is it, my friends. You have seen the playthrough with a starter solo hand deck defeating the easiest quest, one of the easiest quests in the game for sure. The Passage Through Mirkwood. It can be done from the course set. And quite frankly, this is not the better of the 2 decks for battling enemies. Like the other deck is best, the one with Gimli and Legolas. But if you have those two side by side as, those are your cooperative decks. These 3 heroes together, along with Gimli. Uh, let's see, I can't remember the other heroes, but basically, as long as you have Gimli and Legolas, you're going to do well. And you could just throw like maybe Denethor or something in there even to give you some cool deck manipulation abilities with, and also they have healing. They have access to healing. Denethor has access to healing allies. So the core set is a fantastic purchase. I highly recommend anybody who's even thinking about this game. You really can't do better for card art. I don't think you could really do much better for narrative story. I am I don't think you could do much better with coming up with new quest designs on how to do this differently every single time. Like I can't recall too much, if any, duplication, really. I mean, so, of course, some minor things, but like the quests have been largely different. In fact, I've had to tweak my deck between different scenarios quite often just because of the new challenges that are posed. So again, I can't speak enough about this game. If you can find this game on sale, for sure, it's a steal, but it's worth its weight um, at MSRP. In my opinion, you will get a lot of gameplay out of this core set box, and just getting even a few extra quests. You'll have plenty to do, and there's so much to do if you really get into it. You have so much content that you could explore, and I do plan on doing some more. I will try to incorporate more advanced quests so that, this is an easier one. But I will admit that it can get quite hectic. The player area can get really bloated out. Not to mention the enemy area, the staging area and all that can get kind of bloated. It's a little harder to manage. I knew I'd be able to comfortably fit most. Oh, you can't even see this Longbeard Orc Slayer over here. But I mainly could comfortably fit all my allies in play. Sorry about that. I didn't even notice until I looked over. Um, but again, yeah, get your hands on this. It's a great time. All right, thank you for being here, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to doing more content. I have a few things on my table right now I'm looking at that I know I'm going to get into down the road. So I'm super excited. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. As always, bye.